So at this point, Arc Raiders has been out for around 2 weeks, and it is taking the gaming world by storm. I have been absolutely loving it, and as someone who doesn't play a lot of multiplayer games these days, it's really a big surprise at just how much I am loving this game. But there's also a lot of discourse going on right now between players that just want a PvE mode and people who want the game to pretty much stay the way that it is. Arc Raiders is a unique case because it brought in a lot of different types of gamers, because this game checks off a lot on the list. You know, it's got the PvP elements, it's got the PvE elements, it's got RPG elements, it's got even some horror elements. There's a lot of different, gamers who are coming together to enjoy this game, and a lot of people who primarily wouldn't be playing PvP games are finding themselves, in this game world, kind of having a hard time with the PvP elements. So in this video, I just wanted to kind of talk off the top of my head why I think adding a PvE only mode to Arc Raiders would actually do more harm than good. Now, of course, there may be some short-term benefits. Maybe we could get some more players that wouldn't normally give this game a shot, but ultimately it would hurt the game in the long run. And it's funny because Arc Raiders was not always going to be this PvP, PvE extraction shooter. It was originally going to be a co-op focused kind of looter shooter, but the devs were not having a good time and kind of shifted focus. And when they initially announced that it was no longer going to be the original vision of the game, I kind of wrote the game off. I was like, well, I'm not really going to enjoy that game now. Not really big on extraction shooters, or, I don't play a lot of PvP games anymore. So I kind of wrote it off. But, the closer we got to launch, the more I saw of the game. I was like, all right, this actually looks pretty damn good. I'm going to give this game a shot, and I'm really glad that I did. And one of the big reasons why Arc Raiders is blowing up and why so many people love it is that the unique encounters and the unique experiences that you get from this game, you can't really get if the game had a PvE mode, because it would lose so much of that tension and those unique encounters that you get with other raiders, especially when you're playing in solo mode, because that's really where a lot of these types of experiences really kind of shine the most. I'm really not exaggerating when I say playing this game over the last 2 weeks has brought some of the kind of best gaming memories that I've had, in the last couple years. Just spawning into a match with no goal in mind, maybe complete a couple quests, get a couple items off my list that I need to loot, come across another player. I don't know what's going on through his head. Is he going to be friendly? Is he going to shoot me on sight? Is he going to act friendly and then betray me later? Or are we going to group up and are we going to complete our quest together? Are we going to, really role play? Are we going to get immersed in the game world, the Arc Raiders working together? Or are we just going to say our highs and, be on our merry way? You really never know what is going to happen when you come across another raider, again, primarily in solo mode. And that tension, that mystery creates these amazing encounters. And when you have a PvE only mode, all of that is gone. That sense of mystery of when you see another raider is gone. You know they're going to be friendly, you know that you're going to be working together, and you just don't get that same sense of just, it's just not the same. And I think having a PvE only mode would really diminish that feeling greatly. And I think the majority of people agree, but there is that vocal minority that really do not like the PvP experience in this game. And listen, man, I get it. It sucks when you're just going around minding your own business and somebody shoots you in the back, somebody that you couldn't even have seen or really reacted to, and you got some good loot on you, and it sucks. But you know what? You just gotta load up into another match and it's, a new day. And you can do the same to other players. The majority of the time, I want to say like 90% of the time, I am friendly. If I see another raider, I always like to announce and be like, hey, friendly, you friendly? Like, what's going on? What are we doing? And in a lot of cases, the other raiders are friendly. Again, this is primarily in solo mode. I pretty much play mostly solo. I do group up every once in a while, but I really like the solo experience. So when I come across another raider, Again, I don't really know what's going on through his head, so I like to announce, hey man, friendly, just passing through, you need help with anything. A lot of times they're like, yeah, you know, I'm doing this quest, you want to come along? Sure, come along. And then other times I get shot on sight and we get into this really intense duel, and I have a lot of like really high-end materials in my stash that I don't want to lose, which makes the experience really tense. And you know, I'm freaking out because I don't want to die, and I'm sure the other character is like, oh, you know, did I pick a fight with the wrong person? I don't want to die. And then maybe halfway through we're both like, okay, we're cool, man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shoot you, it was an accident, I'm sorry. You can decide to, you know what, maybe you pretend to go away, maybe you sneak back up on the character, on the player, and you know, shoot him in the back for shooting you first. Or maybe you end up working together and you do the same to another player. There's really like, there's so many like unique and just unpredictable, you know, adventures and experiences that happen because of the PvP and PvE combined element together. And that ties into the Ark as well. When you're fighting these Ark enemies, which are extremely intelligent and very deadly, it really ties into the PvP. You know, sometimes you do need to work together. Or maybe you see another player, you know, engaging with the Ark. Do you choose to help him, or do you choose to fire on him when he's surrounded by Ark enemies to make you feel like a rat? But you know what? Sometimes that is exactly what you want to do, and it's really up to you. It just depends on your mood, and again, it really adds so much to this game, more so than, you know, it would take away. If you had the PVE only mode, it would just take away a lot of those experiences, and I'm really adamant that they should not do that. However, I could see a sort of temporary PvE mode work. You know how we have the night raids and the electromagnetic storms, these sort of events that are only available, you know, a couple hours throughout the day, they kind of cycle through. Maybe we could have a PvE mode, you know, 2 hours out of the day, 2 or 3 hours out of the day. You know, in certain maps, there would be a, you know, a PvE focused event where like Ark are extra numerous and you're kind of incentivized to work together to get the best loot, and they could do stuff like that. But that's really the only thing that I think would really work. If they just wanted to have a PvE only mode that was pretty much present at all times, I think it would fragment the player base, and the people who would, you know, do PvP are pretty much only going to be on the regular servers, and it's just going to turn into a only PvP. You know what I mean? You're not going to get those dynamic interactions with the other raiders, and people who are just going to do PvE, well, they're never going to have that surprise, or they're never going to have that sense of, you know, wonder and feeling that you get when you're just playing in the traditional game mode. So overall, I think it would hurt the game. Again, I know the devs are considering it. They're listening to the community. Again, the people who want a PvE only mode are very, very vocal right now. And again, I don't really play that many PvP games anymore, so like, I get it. It does suck sometimes when you just get killed or betrayed, but you know what, that's part of it. That's part of what makes this game really good and stressful and intense. That's all part of it. And if the devs really do want to make a PvE only mode, I think they should test it out first to really get the player feedback, or again, just do like temporary events throughout the day, 2 or 3 times a day for like an hour. You know, you could have a little event that would incentivize people to work together, but that's really the most that I think they should do. I think it should stay the way it is. The game is fantastic, and hopefully you guys agree. If you like this video, be sure to leave a like and a sub. Really helps me out. Keep it tuned for more Ark Raiders. See you guys in the next one.